What's up, everybody? So it's crazy windy. I don't know how well you guys can hear me, but this is when I decided to do a new YouTube video. There's the car. It's my Mitsubishi Galant, the Sport V6. I've got it on coilovers, Godspeed coilovers, which I did a long time ago. I put the I guess the premium wheels that come with the car for the Rally Art version. I have the Sport V6, which is the same engine, but the Rally Art version is for this year. It's the last year that they did the V6 for this Mitsubishi Galant, which came with the Mivec engine, and it gets a little bit more horsepower, but this car still does pretty good, you know, for a J and everything. Yeah, got the roof racks on there. I do, you know, I do a lot of paddleboarding, surfing, racks for mountain biking and everything. And anyway, just a little update on the car and also the sound system. I haven't done and again, this is so windy today. Let me just get into the car. And I figured I'd show a sound demo. Playing music right now. And this is going to be a conversational style video. I'm going to put the windows up and kill the engine. I might have to stitch these videos together. So what I'm trying to say is this is going to be a conversational style video. It's not, you know, it's just me talking here and sharing where the car's at, where the system's been at, and eventually going to get to a sound demo. So you could just fast forward through and find, you know, where the sound demo is and all that stuff. I'm doing this off the cuff. It's not like a planned thing. After doing YouTube videos for some time now, I know people want me to get to the point and shit. And this ain't the fucking evening news. It's me making a fucking video off the cuff, saying what the fuck I want to say. So fast forward, get to what we want to get to. If you don't like it, just watch another channel. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can play some SQ stuff, so you guys get a sound demo, a couple of different CDs, because this is the only phone that I have. I stream everything that I listen to through Apple Music, playing mostly as much lossless stuff that I can play for sound quality. I listen to everything. I listen to all types of music. There's nothing I don't listen to be honest. Let's see here. A couple of things I want to explain is that when I'm playing music and it's being picked up by my iPhone microphone, you know, the microphone can only handle so much dynamics. So it's going to compress. It's going to make something that was like really quiet and super loud, and then quiet and loud. It's going to, you know, take those peaks and just compress them. So you're not getting, you know, listening to this on your through your phone, it's going to sound like your fucking phone. And even if you put on headphones, the sound is being compressed. It's being uploaded, you know, online, and then, you know, going through different compressions and codecs to then be replayed on your computer to then listen to your headphones. So in no way in the world are you even listening on the best headphones going to know what it's like to really sit on here. Not saying that it's the best sound system in the world, but if it was, you wouldn't be able to tell that, we wouldn't be able to hear it. But you get kind of an idea. So, you know, and it's fun for everybody to show like what we've done, what we're doing. I figured before I start, let me open up the trunk, because since the last time I made a video, I upgraded my subwoofer to, I used to have a 12-inch Incriminator Audio lethal injection in a ported box, a slot ported box, which you can see in my other videos. And I love that lethal injection so much. It sounded fucking awesome. Definitely a sound quality, SQL, sound quality loud sub. But it's just 1,000-watt subwoofer or driver, which is, you know, nothing to sneeze at. But nowadays, when you've got these subwoofers that are 5,000 watt and all this SPL shit, it's crazy to say that 1,000-watt sub is a low power, or, you know, whatever. It was an awesome sounding sub, so I decided to upgrade because I wanted more lows. Even though that thing pounded and kicked the lows that I'm giving it, and I was giving it too much power. I'm like, man, I really want those lows that get a little windy and shake things even more, which that sub could do, but I was just pushing it too hard and smelling coil and all this stuff. So I decided to upgrade to the, I'm gonna show you right now, to the Incriminator Audio, the Death Row. And I'm gonna open this up so you guys can see. Right. This is where I keep, I don't know, like a little emergency tool thing. I doubt I can turn the camera around while I'm talking, so I'm just gonna keep going like this. But this is the Death Row. It's in a 3.75 foot Gately enclosure. That's the amp that's driving it. Which I actually got a new amp. I got the Surge Audio, the PL, what is it, 3000, that you know, I bought on pre-sale, and I haven't installed it because this amp right here, the Wolfram, is giving this thing plenty of power. I've got it wired to 2 ohm, whereas I used to be at 1 ohm. It's giving this thing, it's giving it plenty of power, but it could take more power. The subwoofer here. So a couple things is that I decided to upgrade the on the subwoofer. I went to the shredder platform upgrade, which is a bigger, deeper frame and cone and suspension and all this stuff. And I didn't realize that by doing that, I was gonna get more of what I wanted, which was the SPL aspect that I wanted, and more to get more of. But I lost a little bit of SQ. I think by going with that shredder platform, I'm getting the lows that are just fucking awesome. And by going with the larger ported box, it's all the lows are there, but my response is a little bit peaky. So when I'm playing, you know, sound quality music, you know, something that's not hip hop or bass tracks, I start missing the lethal injection because that one sounded so fucking awesome. And this still sounds good, but it's peaky on some stuff, so I'm gonna try to, I don't know, see what I can do to tweak it. I know that there's software, like box software, so you could tune boxes and port and all this stuff. And I'm gonna see if I can create a like a sand-filled sock that I'm gonna make as long as my port and just kind of stick it in there to reduce the port size and mess with the tuning, see if I can get a little bit less peaky response. And it's like something, a sock full of sand that'll be heavy, and it's not gonna go anywhere once I put it in there, it'll stay put. And when I wanna have more of a SQ response, if that's possible with, you know, switching up the tuning and stuff by messing with the port, that'd be really cool to be able to do that. And then when I want to jam out, just take out that sand sock. I mean, it'll be really heavy, full of sand, and then get what I'm getting now. So I don't know, I'm gonna get into the SQ part right now, play some stuff. This is some what would this be? Not bluegrass. This is what I'm gonna play now. It is David Elias. This is a Super Audio CD, which has a lot of the Super Audio CDs, they play a format called DSD, Direct Stream, whatever the hell, Direct Stream, the next D, I don't know what that stands for. But I can't play that layer. This has a CD layer too, so, which is what my Pioneer deck is gonna play. And it still sounds great, so let's see. So I'm going to be playing CDs because, you know, I can't hook up my phone and stream and record at the same time, obviously. So let me just find some tracks here that I think sound nice. So if you could see what I've got going on there with my EQ, I really had to reduce the, let me see how this is, okay. I really had to reduce this these frequencies here because my mid-ranges being up here on the dash, this situation here seems to amplify my mid-range, and I've got the JBL, I forget precisely what it's called, but you can see in my other videos. I kept thinking studio, but no, I have the is it the studio or the club? Now I'm getting confused with what the hell JBL's three-way component system I have. What the hell is it? It's the stage. I have the stage system. And from what I've read about that system, it's hard to find, you know, speaker response and all this information from JBL or anywhere online on it. But from what I've heard is that the mid-ranges, they are a little bit hot on the, I don't know, 3 to 5K area, frequency area, and it makes them a little bit hot or shouty. And being that the speakers are also in this, you know, corner condition up on my dash, which is supposedly ideal for SQ, it makes them a little bit shoutier. And now I'm running these passives, so I don't have any way to just isolate the mid-range and, you know, lower the levels on it a little bit. But it still sounds awesome. I'm very critical of it these days, you know, on a lot of this new music that's really compressed. It makes them sound a little bit shoutier than I'd like. Generally on older recordings, things sound better, but that's my only, you know, my graphic EQ on my deck is the best way that I could try to ease that. Let me see what else I could play. On a lot of my videos, you don't hear like awesome bass music happening because, again, that's all on my phone, and you know, how the hell am I going to record and play it? So let me see if I can get this to oh, come on. So okay, I want to eject the disc. So I've been having an issue with this deck that it won't eject my disc, and that's a shame. Yeah, so this deck was doing something weird that it won't eject my disc that's been in there for months because I only listen on connected. I don't use Bluetooth. I use the Apple, you know, connection to my deck, and it won't. There we go. Eject the disc. There you go. Now it worked. I don't know. This deck is I installed it in 2018, 2019. It's never given me any issues, and since I never listen to CDs, it wasn't until like once in a blue moon that I tried to eject the disc, and I'm like, why the hell isn't the disc ejecting? So now I'm going to play this. This is the only bass CD I have from back in the day, Nightmare on Bass Street, just so I can play some bass and people could see, you know, a little bit of what this, the Death Row sub can do. The disc, is it the best sounding disc in the world for SQ? I don't think so. God damn it, I'm trying to open the box with one hand and it's tough. But whatever, this is what I've got to play, so I'm going to play it. And now I'm going to turn the engine on so my alternator is helping out my system. At the moment, I have a high output alternator. It's for this vehicle, a plug and play one. The best that I could find was by Power Bastards. It's a 220 amp high output alternator. And I've got all 1 gauge wiring. I have an upgraded not Optima, I used to have an Optima battery. I have an Excess Power D2400 battery. And I want to get a second battery, and of course lithium is the way to go. I'm going to turn on my car now. I know lithium is the way to go, but the amount of time, I mean, right now I've got things going on in life that are important, and to make the time to fucking rewire shit, to install a second battery isolator, just do all that shit, and dealing with the paneling and taking all that apart is gonna be a pain in the ass to do, you know. But I'd love to get lithium, but I'm a little nervous about it. You hear all these horror stories and stuff. I believe if I get a bank, I want to build my bank, get the most bang for the buck, and I think I'd want to go with a LifePo 4, however the hell you say it, bank. And I'm thinking, you know, if I'm running my amp right now, which is a 2400 watt, or I go to the finally install the Surge, which is a 3K, which does a lot more power. You can find that one online, being dynoed a lot. It easily does over 4K. That I'd want to get a bank with 30 amp hours of LiFePO, maybe more. I don't know. I'm looking to spend maybe $500-600 one day to do that. But let me see. Let's just play this bass CD. See what the hell this sounds like in here. And this is old stuff. Let me just find a track that hits lows. Here we go.
What is it?
Hit me.
What is it? You like bass? What is it? You like bass? What is it? You like bass? What is it?
Stand by. This is
Bass, 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 bass.
As this song goes on, it goes on to the lows, hitting the lows more and more. I'm just gonna kind of rev my engine. So I'm gonna kind of fast forward this. Oh wow, I could fast forward like that. I don't even know I could do that. I'm gonna try to get to where the lows are happening. And I'm gonna pump up the bass a little more. I don't know what happened to it. The response is missing here. I think it's a 3.
What is it?
stand by. This is
Bass, 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 bass.
CD has scratches. Getting rattling like crazy. It's supposed to hit more lows now, or the frequencies keep going down as the song goes on. Sounds like my trunk's gonna fucking fall off. I hate it, and I can't get to those rattles. I don't know how to fix it. It's like in the bumper in there. Let me see. Here's gonna hit more lows. It's fucking skipping all that CD. I'm gonna turn this down. Oh, here's a bass test. This is gonna drop down on frequencies, and it does pretty good. So let's see if I can fast forward and get to the lows. And oh, come on. I was able to fast forward a track before, now I can't do it. I was able to touch that and fast forward. can't hear. Hopefully this will go to the Lowe's soon. I know you see a lot of videos with people putting napkins up to here, and the napkins and shirts are going crazy. This is a stiffer CD cover, so I don't know if this is doing justice to compare my my SPL to other cars, but I don't know. I think this car gets pretty fucking loud with Lowe's. I'm driving around, people like, I get people looking out their fucking windows like, what the fuck is that? But let's hit these Lowe's. We're getting to the Lowe's now. I don't know if we're like at 40 hertz now. I don't even know if you can hear me. I don't know, maybe 30, low 30s, getting into 20s. Or no, we're in 20s. Alright, so there you go. There's some bass playing on the system. Do I have songs that maybe play a little bit louder than this? Yeah, and the low's stronger, but it'd be streaming off of Apple Music. But let's see if I can demo you something else. Let's see if the CD player will work and open up and all that shit. Let's go set the settings back. Speaker level. Let's put it back at -2 and let's see if this will work. Go here. And it's deciding to play nice. And here's an old ass bass CD. All fucking scratched up from back in the day. I started bassing it since like 1998 when I bought my first car, and I don't know if I'll be able to add a picture to this. And I've had a lot of Fosgate stuff in my first car back in like 1990. 98 is when I turned 18, and then I got my car probably like around 99 or something like that. My first subs were Fosgates. They were the actually no, they were Dayton Audios, my first sub, and house boxes. These old Jensen 12-inch boxes, you know, 3-way speakers. Okay, now I'm gonna play some old it's like minimalist dance music, house, Guy J. If you'd heard of John Digweed, this guy was under his label. Again, I listen to everything. Before I was playing that bluegrass, if that was bluegrass, I think it's called something else. Now I'm gonna play some techno, so you guys can hear that. And I'm just finagling with this here. Well, doing all this shit with one hand is a pain in the ass. I don't know what disc this is. This is disc. I want to play disc 1. Alright. You guys can hear something else that sounds good. And this is normally where I put my phone. You know, here's the how I hook up. I've got this in here, and I have my phone right there, and that's how I roll around. So let's hear this. Put the window up, and if you're hearing rattling, that's this thing rattling. Let's close it, see if it stops. Close this. I don't know if that was loud enough to distort the mic or not. I don't know. I'll find out when I upload this vid. idea of what that sounds like. I'm gonna kill the engine and go to some other tracks. So then that way, I don't know if the engine background noise is something you guys even pick up, but let's try some other tracks. There's some cool songs on here. And this is a long intro, so I'm going to say a couple things. On my rear deck, I have the three-way JBL, I guess it was the Stadium series. And for some reason, I fucking blew those 6x9s. I first noticed like a few months ago, I'm like, what happened to the highs back there? And it's like the woofers were working to the 6x9s, but the mid-range and the tweeter, I guess I blew them. They were working great for, I don't know, since 2019. So that's many years of working great. And I noticed like maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago, I'm like, what happened to my rear fill? And I have my fade and the deck set up to so it's more front stage heavy, and the rear fill does its thing. And I enjoy having a rear fill. I know some audiophile, XQ guys are like, oh, you shouldn't have any rear fill, but I believe it helps. But I blew those somehow, and I think it's from going nuts with pushing my electrical system too hard. And I imagine maybe when I'm playing really bass heavy songs, a song or two, I must be clipping. I may not be getting enough electrical to my amps, even though I have the high output alternator. I have, I see my battery here. The car's off, so it's saying 12.7, but usually when the car is on is at 14.4, and it might dip down to like, low 14s. And if I'm really pushing it hard, like going loud as hell with bass tones, bass songs that are just like constant bass, and I'm at a stoplight and not hitting the gas, it might drop into the high 13s, but that's as low as I'll ever see it. And as soon as I start hitting the gas to get my RPMs up at least to 2K, which I believe my my high output alternator, it actually puts out great numbers, not the full 220 amps, but at idle it does much higher than my regular alternator, which was probably like 100 amps or 110 amps, the stock alternator for this thing. But what I'm trying to get to is, I believe maybe I clipped my 4-channel amp. For some reason, it clipped on the rear speakers and it blew the 6x9s over time, but nothing happened on my front stage. I don't understand that. I've got a 4-channel NVX amp, and it's a Class D. I'm running everything at approximately 2 ohms. This JBL, the highs that I have, the fucking Stadium series, I believe they're 2.5 ohm speakers. So that NVX amp puts out 200 watts per channel at 2 ohms, which is fucking awesome. But it's that 200 watts is getting split up for my front stage into 3 speakers, and then the back speakers, it's getting the full 200, theoretically maximum. I'm sure that when I'm playing music, I'm probably hitting definitely over 100 watts when I'm loud. But what I'm trying to get to is, I believe somehow I must have clipped it. Maybe my electrical wasn't, I need that lithium battery, so all my amps are running, super clean power and not clipping. And maybe that's how I blew those rear 6x9s. So right now, I disconnected one of the 6x9s because first I noticed that the mid-range and tweeters weren't working, and then after a few weeks of noticing that, the woofer on one of the 6x9s started making a rubbing sound or a buzzing, a buzzing sound. So I'm like, oh, I must have blown it. So I disconnected that one. So my rear fill is just one 6x9 where the the tweeter and the mid doesn't work. I bought new 6x9s, which I need to install one day. But let's play a little bit more of this. Oh, look, it's letting me rewind. I'm going to rewind this a bit. Play some more, and I think I'm going to wrap up this video.